There's a story which is emerging this morning about one of the people who is disgruntled with the Prime Minister, a lady called Nusrat Ghani. Now, I remember that she was sacked from a junior role in the cabinet in February 2020. She was in a report about Esther McVeigh. Now, she's also, I think, voted 9 times against the Conservative Party. So there should be some sort of warning signals. I don't think she particularly voted against the party before she was sacked. Now, what's extraordinary is after she was sacked, she went to the whip's office and she asked why she had been sacked. She recognised that being sacked was part of the process of being on this sort of conveyor belt of political life. It's one of the things you accept. Now, I rather like her actually because, first of all, she's standing up against the this sort of roller coaster of demands for people in the NHS to be vaccinated against COVID. It seems to me at the moment that if that call was important, it should have been made 2 years ago. Not now. We're coming out of COVID now, so whether somebody is vaccinated or not seems to me to be a bit of a moot point. And to diminish the NHS further, to knock the NHS further by demanding that everybody in the NHS is vaccinated or they get sacked, this is absurd at a point when we are desperate. I'm still waiting for a routine piece of surgery that should have been done in September. I'm still waiting now. I don't know how many months it is, but it is absurd. The government is supposed to be putting through a bill to ensure that NHS hospitals talk to one another. I was caught up for the second time in my life. I was caught up because NHS hospitals didn't talk to one another. And in the first time, 10, 11 years ago when I had my appendix out, the 2 NHS hospitals that didn't talk to each other were part of the same trust. This time they were part of different trusts. In both cases, my life was put in danger because of this absurdity that one hospital is too arrogant to talk to another. That is where the government should be placing its focus, not in telling NHS workers who have already worked their backsides off that they should be sacked if they don't have this vaccine. So thank you, Nusrat Ghani, for standing up about that. Also thank you for talking repeatedly about the persecution of the Uyghurs. I first discovered this when a friend of mine did a very interesting report into the persecution of the Uyghurs in the early 1990s, in the late 1980s. In fact, he went all the way to China, and he saw some harrowing things and took some harrowing footage, much of which he couldn't in fact screen on Channel 4 because it was so harrowing. He was very brave. So I knew about this problem quite early on, and I'm always delighted when people raise the problem of the Uyghurs. It's something that hasn't gone away and hasn't been dealt with. Again, thank you, Nusrat Ghani, for bringing this up. Now, when she was the junior minister, she was dubbed the HS2 minister. I'm not a fan of HS2 at all, so maybe I didn't pay enough attention to her at the time. But today we learn that she was apparently sacked because of her Muslimness. This led to her sacking. She said that afterwards she felt humiliated and powerless. She was told that if she kicked up a fuss, she would be ostracised by her colleagues. She felt ghosted. She was threatened that her career and her reputation would be destroyed if she kicked up a fuss. All of the things she is saying are things that I recognise as bullying in the workplace. This is bullying. There is no other word for it. Whether it's done by production companies, by television companies, by schools, by offices, it is bullying, it is unacceptable. When you walk out of the place where you work and you feel like this, you are being bullied. And she said, I will not pretend that this experience hasn't shaken my faith in my party. So I find that fascinating. I also find it fascinating that a Labour MP, Chris Bryant, who is the chair for the Standards Committee, but nevertheless he is an opposition MP, he says that he's been spoken to personally by 12 MPs from the Conservative Party who claim they have been bribed or threatened by the whips. There must be so many more. There must be so many more. And this is getting out of control. But to claim that being Muslim is an explanation for sacking, this beggars all belief. And apparently she was told that she hadn't been loyal enough. That may be true, and certainly has been true since. But that she hadn't defended the party against charges of Islamophobia. This is absurd. And that was what she was first told. Then later on, she was told that it was because she had said that that the Conservative Party had a women problem and that they weren't attracting enough female voters. So when somebody somebody is grasping around for reasons why we did something, it suggests that they don't really know. And they're just throwing mud. And throwing mud is not attractive. We don't expect mud to be thrown in the Mother of Parliaments. It's not something I expect anyway. But what she talks about, the isolation, the powerlessness, this is bullying, this is ghosting. And I think we should I think we should be writing letters to Nusrat Ghani and saying how much we personally support her and how much she should stand up to these bullies, these thugs, in her party and beyond. It doesn't matter who they are. But we know, unfortunately, because of the Priti Patel nonsense, that bullying has been accepted as a way of behaving in the Conservative Party, that Boris has condoned it. We know this. We also know that Gavin Williamson, with his tarantula, was proud of the way he intimidated people. So we know that somebody is proud of being called a piranha. Somebody is proud of being associated with tarantulas. This is not an attractive feature. I think this is the feature that we should be focusing on, not whether Boris had a party. I think we should be focusing on why the bullying continues and continues and continues in the Mother of Parliament. Do follow the channel, do ring the bell, let me know. I've got to have breakfast. Bye-bye.